Hey, class, I hope you're having a good virtual day off. Today, we're just going to go through some of the sources of laws, the different types of laws that we will encounter here in the United States. So, laws are created at all levels of the government. So, you have federal laws, state laws, and local laws. The different types of laws are constitutions, statutes, ordinances, case law, and administrative laws. Let's go ahead and go through some of those right now. So, constitutions, I think most of us are familiar with these. They're the documents that set forth the framework of government and its relationship with the people it governs. So, it kind of allocates power between, us and the government, between the state and federal government, and among the branches of the government. Our U.S. Constitution is the supreme law of the land, so it is over everything else. Our Constitution also allocates powers between the branches, which, as we know, is executive, legislative, and judicial. There are interstate and interstate laws. So, interstate laws are between states, which means the federal government typically oversees those. Interstate laws are within a state, and those typically fall to the state government. Statutes and ordinances. So, state and federal legislatures, their Congress, create laws called statutes. Ordinances are pieces of legislature created by a town or city. So if you get a ticket for having your music too loud, it's typically an ordinance from a city or town. Case law and administrative law. So case law is created by the judicial branch, and it's usually created after a trial is ended and a party has appealed to a higher court. Stare decisis is let the decision stand, which it basically means that if a higher court rules on a case that is similar, then the higher court ruling is what you have to go by. Administrative law is laws carried out by administrative agencies. So you can kind of look at the DMV or Social Security Administration. Locally, you have zoning boards that carry out administrative laws. And we have a lot of those here in Westfield. So, who rules in conflict? So, what if the state says one thing, but the federal government says another? Well, most of the time, we go by what the federal government says. So, if they create a law, we have to follow that. If a state creates a law, then the local governments have to follow that. Types of law. So, constitutional law, as we learned before, is above everything else. Under that, you have statutory law, and then under statutory law, you have administrative law. What are the main types of laws? So, civil and criminal are the two big ones. You also have procedural and substantive, and then you have business law, which we will go over a lot through this class. So, civil law are private legal matters. So, it typically happens between, person to person. Small claims court in Indiana, $6,000 max. So anything $6,000 or lower, they typically settle in small claims court. Anything larger than it typically goes to a criminal court. Civil laws allow individuals to seek legal remedies for wrongdoings. Example, if you pay rent to someone and you don't pay it, then that your landlord can take you to civil court. Criminal laws are laws against society. So these are the bigger laws, the murders, the thefts, the arson, the big laws. There are also times, when laws can be both criminal and civil. I think a lot of us look kind of at the O.J. Simpson trial as a good example of that. So, kind of to recap everything, the different types of laws are constitutional laws, which based on constitutions, statutory laws, which are enacted by the legislative body, Administrative laws, which are rules and regulations made by administrative agencies. Civil laws address wrongs done to individuals. Criminal law addresses wrongs done to society. Procedural laws are deals with methods of enforcing legal rights. Substantive law defines legal rights and duties. In business law, which again we're going to go into a lot in this class, rules are rules that applies to business situations and their transactions. So I hope that gets you started for today. You have a couple of assignments to do. You can use this PowerPoint presentation if you want to see me. I don't blame you. You also have your textbook. Just look through chapter 1-2 and you should be able to answer all the questions. If you can't, shoot me a remind message, send me an email, and I will help you out. If not, I will see you tomorrow in class.